looking at the kneeling statue of Senenmut, which was made of granite and created in the 18th dynasty in the Egypt section. And the first thing that really caught our eye was the reflective pieces of granite. They're strikingly beautiful, and they glisten very beautifully against the dark tones of the granite. And also something that's very distinct about this figure is the fact that he's in a very stiff position, which is typical of the other figures that were created in Egypt around this dynasty. And he seems to be looking out into the future. That's what his gaze suggests. He has a very blank stare, and he's in a very geometric pose.
And he also appears to be, I guess, in a submissive position, kneeling. When we associate ancient Egyptian art and people kneeling in them, we usually think of gods, or we usually think of some sort of worship or prayer. So he's definitely in that kind of position where he might be praying to something, or he might be kneeling down to show out of respect because of his lower status, perhaps. And as you said, the granite and the shining pieces that compose the granite are absolutely beautiful, and they really caught our attention right away because of the light that strikes them and how they shine in them. And in addition to all of the hieroglyphics that surround the statue, there's even hieroglyphics on his arm. I guess might be some sort of tattoo, but who knows?
It resembles a tattoo.
It definitely resembles a tattoo, but who knows if that was available during that period of time. And the cobra in the front, although we don't know what it represents, the cobra is a pretty serious snake. That is not something that you would want to encounter in real life.
And it really makes us wonder what it stands for, like the way, is it symbolic the way that the figure is holding the snake with stiff hands, how there seem to be hands coming out of the snake, and like what kind of snake is it? Is it a cobra? Was it used in traditions, rituals?
Yeah, there's definitely something ritualistic about it, and there's also some sort of power dynamic going on here that we don't know about, but we would definitely like to find out. This painting is Old Trumbulla by Boris Grigoriev, painted in 1924, and it's an oil on canvas.
The first thing that we notice is the fact that the skin, or the pigment that the artist created, has a very clay-like texture to it, like scratched clay. It looks three-dimensional, like molded, kind of flattened out by the fact that it's a painting. Also, the man in the figure looks very agitated, traces of very detailed cubism on his face. Also, the fact that he's holding an empty bowl with that expression on his face makes you wonder, why is he so angry? Is there a story behind it?
I totally agree with Alessandra. You can totally tell in the face, especially with the furrowed brow, you can see the amount of detail that went into just painting the face alone. All the shading on the sides, the different colors, how dark red and bright yellows are used. But you definitely see the cubism that you mentioned because of how intricate it is, but it still looks amazingly realistic.
Yeah, like each gradient is especially distinct.
And you notice this in the hands. The hands are a much darker color, but the way the texture on top is really smooth and almost shiny compared to the darkened fingernails, which look like they have almost dirt underneath them.
Yeah.
And how even the fingers themselves appear, I guess, really dry and rough and unkept. Right. I guess they suggest how overworked this man is.
It's an interesting contrast between the coarse hands and the shirt that has a very even kind of texture to it.
Definitely. It's almost liquidy.
Yeah.
How the shirt is painted, it just falls on him with ease.
It's very cool and calm and collected, while his face has very warm, angry, fiery tones to them. So does the background.
Right, the background is a bright yellow and red, which I guess you would definitely associate with fire, usually. And another thing that was really interesting is how his beard is painted. The top really appears realistic. You can see the ends, but towards the bottom, not only does it get lighter,
It gets stylized,
and it's
abstract too.
It's cut off at the bottom, and it's definitely more angular, and it has more definition to it, which you wouldn't really associate if you look at a man with a beard today.